we're resuming the assessment ride now for Steve Pountney. 4:30 limit. Overtaking that pedal cyclist, taking up a position early. Okay, coming into a 50 limit now. Checking that vehicle on the left on the junction, fine. No rear observation before we took up the 50 sign. Positioning now to position 1. And we're doing 40 mile an hour. Have we seen the 50 sign? I'm not sure. Just watching that vehicle and two vehicles coming out of the golf club. They're pulling out in front of us, so it is now clear. Taking up the position 3 for the left hand bend. Got hatch markings in the middle of the road which will stay off, but it does separate us from oncoming traffic nicely. Back to position 2, nice and central as we go over the rise, a loss of visibility. Quick mirror check, watching that vehicle pulling out. From the Corndon turn off. Picking up a position 1 now to look right round the right hand bend. This is where you should be, Steve, on a left right hand bend, and then coming over to position 3 for a left hand. At the moment you're tending to take a centre line which is not affording you the best visibility around bends, and you'll see it much more as we go on the Worksworth Road in a moment. Okay, so we're in a 40 limit, we're doing just under 40, keeping our distance from the vehicle in front, which is nice to see. And going around this left-hander, then a right-hander, and then a left-hander again to the traffic lights where we intend to turn left towards Worksworth. Mirror check, just checking vehicles behind, so I will need to signal should I decide to alter course or deviate. And I know I'm going to turn left, so I'm going to indicate for the vehicles behind of my intention to turn left at the traffic lights. Quick mirror check, just bringing the speed down very gently on the brakes into a first gear. Lights are changing in our favour. Mirror check, rear observation, and then we're going to do a quick lifesaver before we turn, just to make sure no pedal cyclists coming up our near side. Cancel indicator. And just keeping up to the speed limit of 30. I think you may have missed the 30 sign, Steve, just at the start of that junction. And we go through the top end of Duffield here. Where you'll know from your local knowledge that we go into a 40 limit and then eventually into a 50 limit when we hit the open road. Mirror check, there's no vehicles following us at the moment, so there's no need for a signal for any vehicles behind should we have cause to deviate or change our course. So I'm just keeping a nice 30 mile an hour check check. And I know that the sign's changed to a 40 limit here, so just up ahead are the 40 signs, so I'm just going to do a nice casual rear observation just to check if there's any vehicles behind up to the 40 limit. Pedal cyclists on our near side, they're in single file, so we can just take up a position well away from them, just carry on. Mirror check, shoulder check into the 50. Gear, And now I'm going to take a nice line up to the and onto the right hander, so position 1. And a gear for the speed. So keeping it nice 50. Looking at the road ahead, it bears round to the left, solid white lines. So it's telling us that the bend is tightening slightly. So I'm going to take a position 3. The bend, the lines are now broken, so it shows us that the bend is opening up. There's a vehicle turning right up ahead in front of us, into the garden centre, we think. Gears down, checking our mirror after the gear, and back up to the speed limit. Looking at the road, solid white lines, so no opportunity to overtake or make progress past the vehicle in front. Up to the speed limit of 50 miles an hour. The vehicle in front is probably doing about 45 or thereabouts, so we may have an opportunity to overtake, but we'll see. Road is going round to the right and then to the left. And then to the right again, so I'm taking a nice position 1 for this right hand bend. Just give me enough view round it. And then I'm going to take a position 3 for the left hander up ahead. So I can see right round that bend. I see a pedal cyclist, cars oncoming. Pedal cyclist on our side of the road, just holding back off the vehicle in front, checking my mirror, taking a nice right route past the pedal cyclist, and fine. Okay, we now know the road. We're looking over the hedgerows. The road is going round to the right. The white car is showing us where the road is going. So we're taking up a nice position 1 for the right hander. Left hander coming up, so into position 3, bit of compensation for oncoming traffic. Checking our mirror, an exit on the left, clear. Road is going round to the right, so I'm coming into position 1, so I've got a good view. Tuck yourself in, see, this is where you should be, tucking yourself into the near side to give yourself a good view round. And we now see we've got 2 pedal cyclists up ahead in single file, and I have a vehicle behind me, so I will need to indicate should I need to alter course or deviate in any way. Just slowing it down past these pedal cyclists. We've got solid white lines over the bridge, past the pedal cyclists, accelerate away from that hazard. Looking over the hedgerow now, one oncoming car. Road goes round to the left. One oncoming vehicle, nice open road up ahead. We can see where the road goes. It goes round to the right and then round to the left. That car is just showing us which way the road is going. Taking up a position for the left hand bend, a position 3, and then a position 1 for the road ahead, probably a position 2 because road is straightening out somewhat. And just so that you're aware, Steve, position 1, 2 and 3, when you start to read the roadcraft manual, you'll understand what position 1, 2 and 3 is. But essentially position 1 is towards the near side of your lane, position 2 is the centre of your lane, and position 3 is toward the offside of your lane. And when you see this video played back, you'll see where your position needs to be and where it isn't at the moment, depending on the road and the visibility. We'll talk about that in the debrief when we finish this session. Okay, we're at Cowers Lane lights, holding the vehicle on brake, mirror check, rear observation just to make sure nothing's coming up that side of us, quick check left and right to blind junction, We're in a 40 limit, it goes up to a 50. I'm coming off on the offside, compensating for traffic oncoming. So I'm getting up to the 50 mile an hour now. Just watching the road up ahead. No opportunity to straighten the bend off because we've got oncoming traffic. But I'm now going to have a good look round this left-hander. And there it is, that's what I'm looking for, looking over the hedgerows. Road dips down to the left and then we go off to the right. I'm now taking up a position 1 towards the near side to get a good look around this right hand bend, and then I can see the road goes round to the left and to the right again. The car is showing me which way it's going. I'm also looking over the hedgerows as far as I can to see the shape of the road and where it's going to. Lovely open road, cyclist oncoming. Local knowledge tells me that I'm coming down to a bend up ahead. It's quite a tight bend, so we're just taking up a position 3 to go round the right hander, compensate for the vehicle oncoming, slowing it down for this right hander with a very rough surface, taking a gear for the speed. Jaguar's pulling out of our way, so mirror, and away we go. We can see the 40 signs up ahead, so we just mirror, rear observation, just checking, going through the 40 signs at 40 mile an hour. Local knowledge tells me we'll be coming into Hay fairly swiftly, and there will be 30 mile an hour signs now. 30 300, 30 at 200, 30 at 100, and Hay 30 signs bang on 30. Well done. Now we're going through a 30 limit. With regard to positioning here, Steve, there's no need at this speed to be changing from position 1 to 3. Just a nice steady central position. Position 2 will be fine, unless you feel that by tucking in or getting out to the offside gives you a better opportunity for visibility round the bend. But a nice position 2 there at 30 mile an hour is normally quite sufficient. We're now going up to a 40 limit, so I'm going to check my mirror and I'm going to do a rear observation up to the 40 limit, holding it, check, check, check. Local knowledge tells me that further down there is a 50 limit we come into. There's a junction on the left hand side, so I'm just going to take a bit of a view into that junction. No problem for us. 50 limit, so we get up to that 50 limit, and there's the road for us, and we're tucking in for a position 1 to go round the right hander, nicely. Double white lines are the slow sign, loss of visibility, just up in central position, position 2. Now we can see well up ahead. We've got one vehicle in front, we've got no vehicles following us, so no need for a signal for vehicles behind should we have cause to deviate. Holding the speed on a nice gear, 50 mile an hour, but I'm taking up a position now towards the centre of the road just to have a look round the bend. Bit of a loss of visibility, but the car is telling me that we're going round to the left, and then we can see that the road goes round to the right. So I'm just taking a gear for my speed, car approaching, holding it, keeping the speed on as we go round. Series of bends up ahead with a bus oncoming. We know from local knowledge that we're going over a bridge here, and it's normally a nice fourth gear, but you're taking it slowly, Steve, so I'm going to take a third gear so as not to overrun. Round to the right and then round to the left. Taking it through, up to the speed limit. Watching this exit on the left hand side, we're taking a position 1 so I can see, yes, I've got oncoming vehicle. I'm looking over the hedgerows now and I can see that the road goes round to the left. Just taking my gear up, checking my mirror after the gear, and I'm taking a nice line on this road, looking round the bend, pinching a bit from the offside carriageway. Nicely, in we go. Coming up to a 40 limit, vehicle in front is slowing down. I'm checking my mirror, there's no vehicles behind me. I'm just rolling the speed off to the speed limit, and I know we're coming into Wirksworth now, and it will eventually become a 30 limit, so just holding the machine back quite nicely. Nice fourth gear for my bike. And coming into a 30 limit, 300, 200, 100 and 30 limits. There we are. So Steve, in respect of positioning, we've got a fair bit of work to do, which we can do. We can talk about positioning, we can talk about rear observations, which need to be worked on also. We need to be looking at checking interjunctions, just to give us that clarity that vehicles aren't pulling out in front of us. We need to think about the system, which you don't know fully yet, so I'm compensating for that anyway. Checking my mirror now, bringing the vehicle down, rolling off, taking a nice second gear through this island, up into Wirksworth, maintaining at 30 mile an hour, central position on the road. Fair few vehicles on the road now in Wirksworth and the village, parked vehicles near side and off side. Pedestrians could be using the crossing, but there's nobody on the crossing at the moment or waiting to cross, so we're just sailing through. Just keeping an eye on the parked vehicles, no doors opening, junction to the left. Just checking it, check. Again with these parked vehicles, making sure no doors open on us. Now we're looking at the garage to make sure there's nothing in the garage that's going to cause us a problem. Nothing coming off the garage forecourt, which is fine. And we're just keeping a nice position 2 on the road as we go through Wirksworth. It's in a nice position too, keeping the speed at 30 mile an hour. I can see you just checked your mirror, Steve, because of that vehicle turning right, so that was good. It's compensating, bringing the speed down. Vehicle is the road is rising up a hill. There's a vehicle pulling out of a driveway. Let him have a good look at us. Yes, he's seen us. But we'll try and get into a position where they can see you as best they can. And if that means coming out a little bit into the offside, then do so. Vehicle rising up the hill. We know from local knowledge this goes up and then it hits the bridge, and then we start to descend down Cromford Hill. So the third gear we've got at the moment will probably remain, or certainly the gear we're in at the moment, whatever your bike is telling you. Because again, from local knowledge, that I know that it becomes a 40 limit for a very short space. Watching the vehicle turning right up ahead, and we're in a 40, so yes, I know we're on a low gear for a mile down this 12% hill, Cromford Hill, and I know that it comes into a 30 limit fairly swiftly. So I'm just holding the vehicle on the gear, checking my mirror before I start to bring the speed down at 30 miles an hour. So 30, at the 30 sign, had to touch the brakes just slightly. And down we go. Now I'm just watching my speed, checking that exit up the road there. Vehicles in front are slowing and coming to a stationary stop. Quite a few vehicles in a traffic queue ahead, starting to move, so I'm just going to take it nice and gently. Just follow them through. We're going to turn right at the bottom onto the A6. There's not much chance to filter here, so we're just going to have to stick in line with the vehicles in front, moving towards the offside of my carriageway so that people are aware that I'm going to be turning right shortly. I'm going to just tuck up here nicely. Looks like the road, the lights are so we'll just take a nice neutral gear, hold the machine on brake, just rest our feet, do a stretch, just checking behind me. There's a vehicle behind me in the near side. It looks so he will probably be coming up our near side at some stage. Our lights that we want are still on red against us. Lights are still on red against us. Up ahead, should be changing fairly shortly, I think. We've got a pedestrian lights are just changing in our favour as well, so let's take first gear. Traffic is starting to move. Just checking my mirror and shoulder check, checking the vehicles behind. And indicate now that I'm going to be turning right. Yes, I'm committed to go now, so away I go. So, quick lifesaver. The Mini behind us come with me through the lights. So I'm just now checking, this is a 40 limit. So I'm going to get up to the speed limit when I can do so. Just getting a little bit of a view round the left-hander, and you can see that it changes to a 50. I'm just doing a shoulder check, and away I go up to the 50 mile an hour. Now I'm in the position 1 now, Steve, for the right hand bend up ahead. Then it becomes a left-hander and then another right hand, but nice. Now the vehicle in front is going to be putting into the garage, we think. So just slowing down, in he goes into the lane, the filter lane to turn right. We're okay to go ahead up to the 50 limit. And taking a nice position now. There it is, we can see the road is going round to the left, so I'm heading for the centre of the carriageway, and there it is to a nice position 3, compensating and coming in to position 1 for this right-hander, and then a position 3 for the left-hander that's there. That's where we should be. Coming in now to a right-hander that's coming up, so position, it's all about position, checking that car park, nothing on there is going to cause us a problem. Now here we go around this right-hander, bit of a sweeping right-hander which is nice, solid white lines that start to turn into broken lines, tell us the bend is opening up, and I'm coming off ready for the left-hander because I can see the tree line is taking the road round to the left. So I'm now at position 3. Oncoming traffic, so we're just pinching a bit to compensate, but holding that position 3 as much as we can around this sweeping left-hand bend, just compensating nicely for oncoming traffic, giving ourselves a good safety margin. Hold, holding it in position 3, don't get pulled into position. Now we're coming to position 1, so there we are. And again, that's where we should be, Steve, position 1, going round this right-hander. I'm just checking my mirror, there's a vehicle behind, so I will need to signal, should I need to. Speed limit decreases to a 40. Hitting the 40 signs just under the 40 mile an hour. Local knowledge tells me that they'll be coming back up to 50 very shortly once we've gone through this this short area here. And on this bend up ahead we come up to the 50 signs, check in my mirror, shoulder check, up to the 50 limit. The right hand bend coming up, I can see the layout of the road from the oncoming vehicles are showing us the way. Once again, position 1, position 1. A right-hander, right-hander. And there it is at position 3. A 1. Position 1 still for the sweeping right-hander coming up. Solid white lines tell us that no overtaking on both sides. Coming up to a bridge, we know from local knowledge, and I know that for me this is about a 3rd gear bridge. So just bringing the speed down, taking a gear for the speed, following the system, position, speed and gear, then acceleration should we need to use it. Down to a second gear just to slow down, and we know that this road comes into a 50 limit fairly shortly. Pedal side ditch on the near side, taking up half the road at the moment. Okay, we passed the pedal cyclist. He was a bit of a hazard to us, but we've got past him. Now then, the road opens up. The vehicle in front is doing about 40, 45. Let's have a look around this left-hander. That's where we should be. We've got pedal cyclists on the near side, which is going to cause us to change our line somewhat, because we can't tuck ourselves in on the bend, but we can just before. And the vehicle in front is actually slowing down because the pedal cyclists are doubling. So just take it. Okay, first time you've actually done a rear observation past an obstacle, Steve, so can you come back in, just have a look. This is where we should be. Right hand bend. Look, 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 look. Gives us a better view. Position 3 to give us that better view around that bend. There it is, motorcycle. There it is. Nice lovely view when we're sitting here. If you look at it on the video now, you can see a lot more from my position than you can where you are. And I'm now going to come back in. As I come back in, I'm looking through my mirror to make sure that the vehicle behind us is reacting to my movement on the road. Left hand bend coming up. I'm now going to sort of take it into position 3. There are some concealed entrances up ahead, so I'm going to be conscious of those. And there's roadwork signs up ahead with temporary traffic signals that I can see are on red against us. So I'm bringing the speed down quite naturally on the engine. Okay, the traffic lights are changing for us now. Quick rear observation. Need to bring that back. Through the lights into the 40 limit at Ambergate. And where we intend to turn left up ahead, and you've clocked it, Steve, thank you. So we've got a vehicle in the junction and a vehicle waiting to turn right into the junction, bringing the speed down naturally, gear for the speed, quick the lifesaver, and away we go round the corner. Cancel the indicator, change gear, mirror after the gear, and we're going along this road, Steve, towards the motorway, the A38 Island, the end of this road, where we intend to turn right. Okay, so we're on a 40 limit, so okay, we'll keep up to the 40 where we can. Pick a gear for the speed. We've got oncoming traffic. Just holding it nice and centrally, perhaps pinching a bit up to position 3 to give us a good look round. Yeah, here we see, it's quite clear. I'm wandering back to a position 1, maybe 1.5, 2, just have a look around the right-hander. My local knowledge tells me that the road goes round to the lights and we go to Baldridge lights. One vehicle behind us. Bringing the speed down, checking my mirror. Getting the gear for the speed. Traffic is moving off. And it turns into a 30 mile/h speed limit. So we're just holding the vehicle at the 30 mile/h speed limit now. Still holding at 40 mph. Nowhere to go, so holding at a 40, good distance between ourselves and the vehicle in front, giving us the stopping distance we probably need, should we need to stop in quickly. Solid white lines with oncoming traffic. The road goes round to the right now. And we'll go round to the left quite sweepingly, nice. Sweep down to the right, and then leaning the bike over to the left. Coming down now to what we know is a set of traffic lights. Vehicle stationary in front of us, lights are on green, so we should find that the vehicles start to move before we get to them. We're going straight over at the lights. Lights change against us, so checking the mirror, braking, brake, and coming to a nice gentle stop. Holding the vehicle on the brakes. Local knowledge tells us that we're going straight on and then round to the left on the road. A speed limit goes to restricted to a 60 mph natural speed limit. Checking my mirror, checking shoulder check. Everything okay. Bringing this speed up, getting the gear for the speed. Watching that vehicle on the offside there in that junction. It's okay. Just coming out to the position 3 to have a good look around the bend. There's a lot of oncoming traffic which cuts down our opportunity somewhat. But I'm going to bring the speed up where it's safe to do so. Coming across to position 1, just to have a good look around the right-hander. Now we're going to go right at the island, which is not far around this right hand bend now. So I'm holding that position 1. I'm just checking my mirror now. I've got cyclist on my near side. I'm coming towards position 3. I'm going to start to indicate now for the vehicle behind to tell him I'm going right at the island. I'm now checking vehicles coming onto the island, looking over to my right, looking for an exit to be clear. Keeping the indicator on, getting away from that vehicle in front. Ready for a breakaway signal to take me up the A38. Like now. And I'm going to come off on the offside of the road. Come off on the offside here, offside on the slip lane, up to the 70. Come on, Steve, this is where you should be. Yes, you've got 1200cc underneath you, or 1600, 1400 I think it is. Let's indicate. Lane 1 is clear, 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 clear. Checking on our shoulder, lane 1 clear. Lane 2 clear, but a shoulder check and an indicator. Bringing ourselves up to the speed limit. And up to the 70. Gear for our speed. Bike behind us. We're doing about 75 mile an hour, Steve. We're creeping our speed up, so just be a little bit careful. Go past this red car, and I think we should be pulling into the near side lane. So we're indicating for him and to the vehicle behind. Crimping a little bit to look around the left-hander. No need to keep sweeping again on a dual casual like this, unless it gives you an advantage to looking round a bend. Adopt a nice central position in the carriageway. Command your position on the road. We should be thinking about this guy now. Mirror. Rear observations. Look over your shoulder, Steve. Don't just quick look for the sake of it. Nice, slow and measured rear observation. Bring yourself back in. Nice. Maintaining that 70 mile an hour. We've got a junction on our near side, so we can expect traffic to be pulling off in front of us maybe, but certainly we can expect there will be a slip road the other side where traffic will be merging from our left, so we just need to be aware of that as we go around. My local knowledge tells me where we going? Where we? Whoa, 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 whoa. okay. Didn't know we were coming off here, Steve, but there we are. Watching this vehicle in the junction here, seen us, no problem. 50-mile-an-hour limit. Vehicle up ahead is turning right or indicating right. That's taking a nice position 3 to have a good look around the left-hand bend. By the time we get there, that vehicle should have moved out of our way. So just checking our mirror now. We're okay, we're clear. Still a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit. Coming up to a set of traffic lights which are on red against us, and I think if I can just quickly look past you, we've got the vehicle in front is turning left. Our intention is to go straight on over these lights. Just bringing the speed down nice and gently. Accelerating away up to the limit. Still 50. Looking at the road ahead, nice sweeping right hand bend. I'm taking a nice position near side. Then I'm going to go and straighten this bend off nicely, coming in to the near side for this right hander coming up. There it is, check check. Keeping the power on as we go round. Road goes round to the right, so I'm going to come off, come towards position 3. There it is, there it is. Lovely open road up ahead, and I know, looking at the car there, the road is going round to the right. With a speed limit sign of 30 coming into Little Eaton in 300 yards. So 300, 200, 100, 30 limit at Little Eaton. Dead on 30 as we come through. Taking a nice gear for the speed. Acceleration is fine. Taking us through the village of Little Eaton now. School signs 20 mile an hour. It is a Saturday, but you never know these days when schools might be in and out, but no lights flashing, so there's no need to be at 20. But it's a 30 limit, so we're just keeping our speed at the 30, or up to the 30 where we can, going through the village. Adopting a nice clear position, looking I'm at a position 3 at the moment, so I can have a good look around this left-hander. Yeah, keeping away from the parked vehicles on the near side. keeping it at 30, keeping it at 30. £40 an hour. Bit over the speed limit there, I think, Steve. So let's hold it back. Just past the garden centre, and then when we come up just on the right up here, we should be pulling into Starbucks and finishing off the ride. Okay, Steve, so a few things to discuss on the debrief, and then we'll discuss our strategy for moving forward with the training. Now here we could actually go filter up. If we wanted to. Because we're going to turn right into the Starbucks, so I'm going to suggest, Steve, Harley World.